Former President Jimmy Carter's funeral was held in Washington, D.C. on last Thursday. I presume that he was properly eulogized. I didn't watch the whole service. The images of all the various presidents and vice presidents filing in were enough. It's no secret that I think Trump is a danger to our republic. I don't care that he won re-election. His implicit and explicit threats of political violence, looking at you January 6th, his threats of using the federal government to exact retribution against political opponents, the almost certainty that he'll run our government like a personal favor machine, especially in regulations, tariffs, and so on, go right to the heart of democratic good government. Hell, he's even playing footsie with running another term in 2028 in direct opposition to the Constitution. Recall that he's threatened the quote-unquote termination of parts of the Constitution. With all of this background, last Thursday at the memorial, we had quite the spectacle. We had Obama sitting next to Trump, having an extended, friendly chat, and even laughing along at something. Former Vice President Pence shook hands with Trump. This was the first time the two had met since 4 years ago, when Trump demanded that he overturn the election results, while Trump's supporters were outside threatening to hang him if he didn't. At the memorial, it was all quite normal. Just what you do with presidents, you know? In fact, only a couple of the ladies present seemed to have the ovaries necessary to resist normalizing this guy. Karen Pence refused to shake Trump's hand altogether. Maybe the hang Mike Pence cheers from January 6th were a bit too much. Kamala Harris seemed to look at Obama and Trump disdainfully as they chatted. Wait, there was one exception on the guy side. George W. Bush just blew Trump off, skated by him. Bush, good Lord. Now, he's some sort of good guy, like with the Cheneys? Look, I have not forgotten or forgiven what the Bush administration was like. That group used sketchy intelligence and constantly shifting reasons to justify the invasion of Iraq, that devastating war of choice, all the while exploiting the climate of fear around Islamic terrorism to silence doubters and critics with jingoistic attacks. This period of time, the lead up to the invasion of Iraq, for me, helped pave the way for what we've seen with Trump. The disparagement of those who seek facts and reality, the bullying of opponents, giving up the moral high ground internationally through invasions and destruction. Now, Bush and the Cheneys, when facing down the authoritarian impulses of Trump, make the right choices. Bush won't welcome Trump back into polite company, it appears. Liz Cheney has proven herself to be one of the bravest political actors of the day, unapologetically defending the truth of what happened on January 6th. Her dad, Dick, even came out against Trump during the campaign. Super. Very glad. Of course, they themselves should never have been allowed back into polite society, but here we are, with Bush giving the cold shoulder to Trump while others cheerfully welcome him back. Honestly, what in the hell? We have been told for years now, and certainly in the last campaign, by Democrats for sure and by a few courageous Republicans, that Trump is an active, dangerous threat to democracy. But he's welcomed back. This is becoming a theme with me here. But honestly, am I being played? So which is it? Is he a threat or isn't he? If he's that big of a threat, treat him like it. Don't cozy up to him. Don't joke around or shake hands. What is going on? Look, I get it. Sometimes there's a careful balance to be struck between bolstering the normal order of decorum, all those crazy notions and norms of civility and respect for political opponents and whatnot, with the genuine threats that he represents. In other words, don't diss a memorial service. But you don't have to give him a big, fat, wet kiss either. We saw this too with the way Biden welcomed Trump to the White House not long ago after the election. All quite normal. For real? So what's the deal? Maybe, as I've said, we've been played. Maybe it's all politics. If so, screw those people. Or maybe it's some super sophisticated way of luring Trump back into normalcy. Good luck with that. Or maybe they're afraid. In proper authoritarian fashion, Trump has made it clear that he intends to use the powers of the federal government to exact revenge on who he sees as his opponents. He's got an enemies list, and he's not afraid to pursue it. And let's remember, again, that he's proven willing to use organized political violence before. Looking at you again, January 6th. A couple of similar phrases are going around: pre-capitulation or pre-surrender. When it gets down to it, we're either seeing leading political elites knuckle under to Trump and his promised program of intimidation, not much courage there, or we're seeing that all of this talk about defending democracy was BS. And let me set aside for now what that phrase defending democracy even means. I'll post separately about that. I've long thought that it was too fuzzy-wuzzy, unclear, not concrete, hard to feel. People like me need to do a better job about explaining what we mean when we say that. In the meantime, for my part, defending democracy is real, and the next 4 years are going to be a test. And so far, many are failing. Good luck, America.